Welcome back, future medicos. MCC stray vacancy round is around the corner, and I'm getting lots and lots of questions about stray vacancy round. Most of them are repeated questions, very similar questions. So, in this video, I'm going to cover 10 frequently asked questions, and I try to clarify the doubts by the candidates for these 10 frequently asked questions. I'm also covering some of the steps that are needed in stray vacancy round along the way. So just watch the entire video so that any doubts you have about stray vacancy round, most of them could be cleared by the end of this video. But before going into today's topic, I want to cover some of the courses that are upcoming by Unacademy. So you can crack NEET 2021 with experts through Unacademy. Unacademy brings a lot of batches by top educators. One of the batches that is starting on January 3 is called UM MEAD batch for NEET 2021. So in this course, top educators will help you prepare for medical entrance examination, that is NEET. This course will cover certain topics in physics, chemistry, and biology. I suggest you to click the link provided in the description, go to the Unacademy website and check exactly what are the topics covered in this course. The course will be covered in Hindi and the notes will be provided in English. And another course that is starting on January 4 is called Alpha Achievers Batch. So this batch will be starting on January 4. So both these batches, that is UMED as well as Alpha Achievers Batch, it's a paid course. So you need to sign up and pay for the course. So what I will do is I will provide a link to these courses as well as I will provide a referral code. So you can use the referral code just get MBBS and you will get 10% discount on the price displayed on Unacademy website. So how to get Unacademy subscription? The steps are explained here. So Plus and Iconic subscription plans are available. So let's crack it with Unacademy. Now let's go to the topic of this video. So what is the admission process for stray vacancy round? First of all, you need to register with MCC. If you have already registered, you do not need to register again. I will explain the registration requirements in the subsequent slides. Who needs to register, who does not need to register. I will talk about that subsequently. So first step is registration. Then MCC will publish 10 times the vacancies eligible list. So we know that approximately we have about 2,500 seats are vacant. So approximately MCC will publish about 25,000 candidates who will be eligible for stray vacancy round. And then individual colleges will also provide some notifications when the counseling will happen, how to apply for counseling, where you need to come for admission. So all these procedures will be published by individual colleges. JIPMER will publish separately for JIPMER Karaikal. AIIMS will publish for all the AIIMS institutions. Then individual deemed universities will publish their own procedure. Banaras Hindu University will publish for their own procedure. So you need to look at individual colleges and follow the procedure given by the notification in that particular college. Then you need to apply or register or visit individual colleges as per the procedure given. The admission is not done by MCC. Remember, this is not like round one, this is not like round two or mop-up round. This is completely done by individual colleges. MCC's role finishes only at the registration and publication of the eligible list. After that, all the admission procedure is done by individual colleges. Remember that. And finally, you need to complete the admission with original documents. You may not be allowed to go with bona fide certificate. You may have to go to the college to complete the admission formalities. At that time, if you don't have original documents, they may not entertain you. So that's why stray vacancy round is a little bit risky. You may get a seat, you may not get a seat. So my advice to people who are already in a college, better don't waste your efforts on stray vacancy round. Registration for stray vacancy round with MCC. It will be happening from 4th January 2021 to 6th January 2021, 12 noon. So the registration will close at 12 noon on 6th January. Now, who are not eligible for stay round? Candidates already holding a seat allotted in round 1, round 2, or mop-up round of MCC, they are not eligible. If you have got a seat in round 1, you have joined, and if you have not exit, you are still in that college, then you are not eligible. If you have got a seat in round 2, you have joined, you are not eligible. If you have got a seat in mop-up round and if you have joined, then again, you are not eligible. So anybody who is currently holding a seat allotted by MCC, they are not eligible for stay vacancy round. And if you have not registered, the registration is compulsory. Either you should have registered in round 1, round 2, mop-up round, or now for the stay vacancy round, you need to register. If anybody who has not registered, if you directly go to the college and get the admission, your admission may be cancelled. So make sure that you register with MCC. Now, who should register with MCC? Anyone who is interested in the stay vacancy seats should register. Why you need to register now? If you have not registered earlier in any of the rounds, that is, you have not registered for round 1, you have not registered for round 2, you have not registered for mop-up round, then you should register now. You may have registered earlier and got a seat in round 2, but you did not join. You have exit with forfeiture of the security fees. So whatever the security fees is gone already. So now you need to do a fresh registration because you have already exit. Similarly, anybody who got a seat in mop-up round and decided not to join, once again, they have exited with forfeiture. So these candidates should also do a fresh registration. So anybody who have not registered earlier, anybody who got a seat in round 2 or mop-up round but did not join, these candidates should register now. Who need not register with MCC for stay vacancy round? You have registered in round 1, got a seat in round 1, but you used the free exit. That means you have not joined the college. But since round 1 is free exit, no problem. You don't need to register again. Registered in round 1, but you did not get a seat so far. You did not get a seat in round 1, round 2, mop-up round. You need not register again. Registered in round 2, and once again, you did not get a seat either in round 2 or mop-up round, you again no need to register. And finally, you have registered in mop-up round, but did not get a seat in the mop-up round. Once again, you need not register for the stay vacancy round. The question number 4, I have already registered in MCC round 1, but did not get seat in round 1, round 2, mop-up. Should I do fresh registration for stay round? Right? I have answered these in the previous slide. Fresh registration is not needed because you have already registered and you did not get any seats so far. So fresh registration with MCC is not needed. However, you may need to register with individual colleges. This is depending on the procedure followed by individual colleges. So you need to follow the procedure by individual colleges, see whether they need a registration. Okay, this registration is free. MCC has clearly said the colleges should not charge anything for this registration at the college level. However, MCC registration, there is a charge. Question number 5. I have already registered for round 1, 2, and mop-up. Should I register for stay vacancy, and is it necessary for choice filling? Of course, I have answered whether you need to register. It's not necessary since you have registered already. But choice filling is not necessary. In fact, choice filling is not available because the counseling is not conducted by MCC. The choice filling is also not there. But you need to approach individual colleges. Your choices are based on the colleges you are going to select. You need to approach individual colleges. You should apply, register or visit individual colleges of your interest. You can choose as many colleges you want, but the time period is very short. So focus on few colleges. You can apply to multiple colleges, but try to focus on few colleges so that you can visit the college. For admission, you need to go personally to the college. Question number 6. Until when the colleges will convert the NRI seats into management seats, since there are many NRI seats vacant, and I don't think even 10% of them will be filled till the deadline period, that is 15 January. Absolutely correct, Sakit. Certainly, the NRI seats are not going to be filled. There are about at least 700 plus MBBS seats are available. They will not be filled through NRI candidates. So, what normally will happen is the first round, they will be conducting NRI counseling. Say, for example, a particular college, let's take one deemed university. First, they will call NRI candidates on a particular day. Let's say, for example, 11 January, they are calling candidates for NRI counseling. And whatever NRI seats are vacant, say, for example, there are 20 seats are vacant, that will be presented to NRI candidates first. Let's say, for example, only 10 candidates turn up and 10 seats are filled and 10 seats are vacant in NRI. Now, these 10 seats will be added to the general management seats. Say, for example, we have 10 general management, 10 NRI vacancies. So, totally 20 seats will be offered to general management candidates. Probably, if NRI counseling is happening on 11 January, then general management counseling will happen on 12 January. Something like that, right? Or maybe 13 January. So it depends on the college. The college will put up a schedule when the NRI counseling is going to happen, when the seats will be converted to general management, and when general management counseling will happen. Of course, all of these has to be completed by 15 January. So certainly the NRI seats has to be converted before 15 January. So most likely around 11th to 12th January, that is the date I'm expecting most of the colleges will be conducting their NRI counseling. Then probably 13th, 14th might be the general counseling that might be happening. Now, this is a standard question a lot of you are asking. These are only few questions I have posted. I get a lot of similar questions in my Telegram account, in my WhatsApp, in my email, in YouTube, in Twitter, right? Whatever connections I have, all of them are posting these kind of questions. My NEET marks are 351. Can I have chance in symbiosis? Give approximate cutoff marks for stray vacancy. 445 OBC, is there any chance in AIMS or JIPMER? So similar questions, lots and lots of similar questions. But unfortunately, I have no idea how to predict the cutoff for stray vacancy. Stray vacancy is nothing but a lottery. You may go to the stray vacancy round and the cutoff might close at 600 marks. You may not go for the counseling and then the cutoff may be around 400 marks. Nobody knows. Who is going to come for the counseling? Only God knows. Many of you are asking, should I travel to Delhi? Should I travel to Puducherry? Should I travel to here? Should I travel there? It's up to you. You have to decide. If the seat is important, you have to travel. If the seat is not important, if it is only optional, then don't travel. If it is optional, then you should not travel. Why you are wasting your effort? Remember, stray vacancy is for candidates who don't have a seat. If you are comfortable somewhere, don't please travel. Don't waste your effort. So you are going to take a risk, because all the counseling in most of the colleges will be happening simultaneously. So if you are choosing one college and traveling, maybe you'll be missing an opportunity in some other college. So you are going to take the risk. I'm not going to tell, AIMS, the cutoff is 600, JIPMER, the cutoff is 590, deemed universities, the cutoff is 100 marks. I cannot tell you that because I don't know. It all depends on who are going to turn up on that particular day. So you have to decide. You have to take the risk. If you really want college, certainly then go for colleges that are not popular. Certainly you will get a seat. But if you want to take a risk, if you don't mind taking a risk, even if you don't get a seat, you want to repeat next year, then you can go to bigger colleges like AIMS, JIPMER, central universities, you can go there. Wait for the procedure, because sometimes the colleges might even provide a shortlisted list of candidates. So we do not know how individual colleges are going to handle this, because the procedure changes every year. But in your mind, you need to start planning your trip now. Now, the question number 8, what will be the fees for NRI lapsed seats? That is, the seats that fall vacant after NRI counseling is completed. Generally, they will be offered at the fees of general management category. But once again, I caution you, there could be deemed universities which might be charging something extra. There might be deemed universities which may ask you some donation, some capitation. We do not know, right? We do get this kind of information. I do not know because I have no connection with any of those admissions. But be ready for all these. But as per procedure, any seats that are vacant in NRI will be offered at the normal general management category fees. Question number 9, how to apply for stay vacancy at JIPMER. So as I said, you need to follow the notification from individual colleges. Every college is going to have their own procedure. There is no uniform procedure. MCC is not the admission authority here. MCCs already have washed hands. So individual colleges will come out their own procedure. So wait for the notification from individual colleges like AIMS, JIPMER, deemed universities. Follow whatever the procedure is stated in their notification. Question number 10. I'm checking the website of Sri Siddhartha Tumkur. There is nothing available as of now, and college is not lifting calls. How do I contact? This is very, very common with deemed universities. A lot of deemed universities may not respond. Forget about deemed universities, even a lot of authorities, right? MCC, how many people were able to contact? Your own DME, how many people were able to contact? So don't expect these people to lift the phone. Yes, some colleges may attend your calls. Most of the colleges may not even attend the calls. And even they attend the calls, they may not tell you anything. They will ask you to come to the college, visit the college personally. So be ready for all these, and then also wait for notification. As of now, I think it's slightly earlier. Some colleges might start posting notifications from Monday, but most of them should be able to display from 7 January. So from next Monday, start looking at individual colleges. I will also try to post as much information as possible from deemed universities or JIPMER or AIMS to my extent possible. But be ready for all kind of surprises. What about payment details? How much we need to pay? This is mainly the question is regarding the registration with MCC. Now, when you are registering with MCC for fresh, you need to pay a registration fees as well as you need to pay a security deposit. Those who have already registered, they know this. Now, how much should I pay? If you are only interested in AIMS, JIPMER, central universities, and ESIC quota seats, then you need to pay 1,000 rupees registration plus 10,000 rupees security deposit. This is for general candidates. If you belong to any reserved category like OBC, SC, ST, or persons with disabilities, it will be 50%. That is 500 rupees registration and 5,000 rupees security deposit. However, if you are interested in deemed universities, you need to pay 5,000 rupees registration plus 2 lakhs security deposit. If you pay 5,000 plus 200,000, that is 2.05 lakhs, then you can apply to all the colleges. You can apply to deemed universities, you can apply to AIMS, you can apply to JIPMER, you can apply to central universities, you can apply to ESI quota seats if you are eligible. ESI quota seats are only for ESI candidates, not for everyone. Now, these are the frequently asked questions and I wanted to address in this video. If you still have any doubts, if you have still any queries, please post it in the comments. Thank you. I see you soon in some other video. Take care. Bye bye.